Yo, 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 yo. What's going on, everybody?
Hey y'all.
We back for another episode of Who's the Deadbeat in a world where everybody has a story. There's only one question remains, man, unanswered, and that's who's the deadbeat. So we here to get everybody's story, man. So y'all know what we here for. Y'all know what we do. I'm about to pin the link in the bio so everybody can come up. Hold on. Let me
Before we get started, I got a quick disclaimer. We, who's the dead, who's the deadbeat? I can't even talk tonight. Tired and a little bit under the weather, but that's another story. We at Who's the Deadbeat is not liable or responsible for anybody's litigations or legal proceedings. So when you come up to tell your story, please be respectful. If you are in any, court proceedings, we ask that you don't use any names, just for the respect of other people's privacy. And yeah, at that point, you can say baby mama, kid's mother, baby daddy, like whatever you would like to call this person, just do not use that real name because we've been getting pushback already with people reaching out, complaining about others, telling their side, but you can tell your side, just don't, try to blast the other person.
Yeah. And for all you people, man, that um your baby, you see your baby daddy or your baby mama on here or whoever on here, you welcome to come up and tell your side of the story too. That's the whole purpose of this platform is to raise awareness about parental alienation. But we also want to, we want to bridge the gap, man. We want to see what's the real issue, man. Why y'all out here causing all this madness, man? For what? You know what I'm saying? Y'all just making y'all kids' life for no reason, man. And we're gonna get down to the bottom of it because it's one thing for sure that the truth always come out, man. We done lived it. We didn't know plenty of guys that lived it, or plenty of women who lived it, and it's gonna eventually come out. So, man, we had a guest that was just on here. I don't know where he went, but all right. But anyway, I want to talk about this parenting time, man. A lot of people.
Before you get started, let me say this because um from us already, rolling this out and trying to give people opportunity to share their stories, the pushback that is coming in these comments and the things that y'all are saying about people lying and are we believing this or that, what we believe is irrelevant. Like, we're here to give people a safe space to share their truth. And we are not investigators. We do not work for high profile firms, or we're not attorneys, like therapists, none of these things. We're just regular people who have experienced parental alienation and want to educate others on it. And like my husband said, bridge the gap, try to see how you guys can come to a resolution if you can. And if you cannot, then again, we're all adults. Like, nobody is responsible for you guys life and what life experiences. Like, we don't have anything to do with what has already happened. We didn't hook you guys up to get together to have a kid. We're not moving forward with you in terms of the drama. Like, we're just trying to figure out how can we help, if we can help. We want your story to be shared. Other people can relate. People can possibly, reveal resources in your area if you need that. So that's what this is really about, getting down to the bottom of who's the true deadbeat behind the story, but not us just taking sides or being biased or dictating about your own personal experience. That's not for us to do. And so for all the people, for even those stories that we've done and the people that have aired already, pushback to say we're giving liars a platform, all that is you wasting your time and breath, because we don't we don't know you guys. Like, there's no way we would know who's lying and who's telling the truth. Now, if the story sounds bizarre or something's weird about what we're hearing, yes, we may go but we're not there. Like, you could come up and say anything. How will we know if it's the truth or not? So I just feel like, as an audience, you guys just need to pipe down and relax. If you want to say that the person is not telling the truth or whatever, that's your own opinion. But don't choose for us because you're not going to be able to. We're
Yeah,
going to
don't
run
come
our
for us.
platform how we want to. This is ours. If you want to do whatever you do, do yours. Like, don't tell us how to run this because this is what we've experienced. And so we know how to handle it and deal with it. And we know how to spot liars if that's the case. But it's not for us to call them out. That's what you can do in the comments. And we'll post your comment too if that's what you want to do. If you want to be heard. So I just wanted to get that off my chest. I'm probably gonna have to say this a million more times, but I just wanted to get it out the way early while we on tonight so that it's clear. Nobody cares if you want to say somebody's lying or not. Like, let them tell their story. It's their truth.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it's gonna come out anyway, man. We've been doing this for way too long, man. We can read right through it, and I think we do a great job of asking the right questions
Me
because
too. Me too. Like, I mean, what do they want us to say? Like, if something sounds really like, wait, what you just say? That you're lying, or that doesn't sound right. Like, no, we don't have the position to say that. We're just here to hear you guys out. If somebody knows you and they want to come forward and reveal truths and got receipts, we welcome to that too. Anybody can come up and share their story. That's what it's
anybody,
about.
you are welcome.
Because to be honest, we only really care about the children. Let's be clear. Like, yes, we do sympathize and we do have a level of empathy for people who have experienced this because we know what it feels like. We've walked this walk. We're still dealing with this to this day. So we can relate. However, we really are more concerned about the kids just as we were ours. We had to fight for them for 5 years until we were granted custody. Like, they were the number one top priority, and that's why we got custody because we always thought about them. We didn't, bask in our own feelings
Exactly.
and do wrong moves and then get upset when the court system didn't work because that's what it's all about. You got to know how to move and play the game if you want it to work in your favor. And so I'm not going to keep going on and on. That's just to give you guys an understanding of what it is and why we do what we do. And please don't come for us because I got all the smoke, all
Yeah.
of it.
All right. We got who we got in here. Hold on. All right. You got your good light up. Going
Hey
on, boss
guys,
man?
what's going on? What's going on?
Hey, how you doing?
How are you?
I'm good. I'm doing good. Taking it day by day. Uh,
All right. What can you just tell everybody? What's your name and what
all
city
right,
you from?
all right. So my name is Eugene, and I'm out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. You know, good old
Yeah.
Okay,
love.
we got PA in the building.
Uh,
All right. How many kids do you have?
so I have two. I got a 11-year-old girl and a 3-year-old son. Uh-huh.
Okay, now is the both of those both of your kids are being alienated?
No, just my daughter. My daughter, she
Okay.
was ill, and my thing, I have more of a testimony, but it's an ongoing testimony because right now my daughter is in my care, but the
Okay. Before
so
you give us that, not to cut you off, how many kids' mothers do you have?
I have two,
Two different women, two different children. And
yes.
so the child, the daughter that you said that you was being alienated, her mom, how were you guys in a relationship,
Mhm.
situationship, one night stand? Like, what was the
Yeah. So
basis of that?
so I was 18. She was 16. Yeah, that's when we had our child. We met probably like maybe 3 years before that. We met in like 2011. Just teenagers basically in high school, and
Okay.
um, that where we just we it was really just an immature relationship. We met on like Facebook, Twitter, something like that. I knew one of our mutual friends, and then we kind of I'm like, oh yeah, from social media. I'm like, who that? Yo, put me on your friend. And she was like, yeah, what's up? So we linked up, and like in a week, we like, all right, yeah, we boyfriend and girlfriend.
How long
Yeah,
did it last?
it lasts, I guess, about 2 years, 3 years. Yeah, because um we met each other in 2011. We had a child. Naomi was born in 2013.
How old are you now?
I'm 29.
29. Okay.
How did you guys split?
'Cause I was funny enough. I was just thinking about this question. It was a very mutual split in my eyes. My wife,
Okay.
she definitely gives me a more female perspective of it, but we were distant for a while before Naomi was even born, and when she was pregnant, I would state things like just to talk about how our future would look being separate, like just knowing like this is not going to we're not going to be together, so we should just already know we should respect each other, whoever we bring in the picture, definitely make sure we are mutually cool with them being around a child to stand up there. Mind you, I'm only 18. I don't really know a lot, but I know I want to be respected, if anything, especially somebody around my daughter.
So
So
your daughter was your first child.
uh-huh.
Okay. And so it seemed like when you guys worked together, even though you were young, you kind of were kind of cool, right? Kind of on the same page, even though you felt the relationship wasn't working out. So let's just fast forward just a little bit because we'll get to you having a second kid and where you are currently and everything. But for the basis of the alienation, like were you the one being called a deadbeat, or did you consider her like a bitter baby mama?
I was considered the deadbeat. It really didn't open my eyes for her being like a bitter baby mom so much until like it was just being open to me. I was so negligent to a lot of that stuff. I was raised by a single parent. My mom, she did very well at keeping my father and their court all that situation away from me. So I didn't
Okay.
really know a lot. My dad wasn't in my life that much, at all for real. But I did eventually spend like 2 years with him later on when my mom was like, "Yo, you need to take him on." But other than that, growing up, I didn't grow with him around. But my mom, she never talked about him badly. It was never anything. So I didn't know what was ever going on with that. So when it came to now me being in this situation, I'm kind of like, I'm off the whim. I ain't got nobody to look to ask about. Everybody in my family, it's majority females, and they just gonna be like, you gotta step up, do that, do what
So
you
why were you being called a deadbeat? Like, okay, so take us
be-
back to
because
how it got to that point. Because at first you said you guys was cool, it
yeah.
wasn't working
So
out, but you still wanted y'all to remain cordial for the baby. So what happened?
I feel like it started very early when her mother went to court against me from the door. And mind you, I ain't know nothing about court. We agreed
Why?
to stay about it because I guess to obtain custody and
Okay.
to obtain the custody, and her words, like at first they told me multiple things, but what I found out for the nitty gritty, her words was that she didn't want me to run away with the child and they not have no type of custody. Mind you, I was 18. Where was I going? I didn't know nothing about none of that. So when I saw it, I saw the papers. It's a bunch of papers. The first time I've ever
She
get.
was 9 times out of 10. She was probably getting coached too as well, cause
Yeah,
she was young too as well.
but it was the grandmother that
The
went.
grandmother, the
And
baby mother's mother, right?
Oh,
she the
That
one
okay.
that
took
initiated.
you, that
Oh,
went to
she was
court.
the one that filed. I thought you
Yeah.
were saying your
Yeah,
baby mother. Oh, okay.
she went and filed, and I had to share custody with her because at the time of the birth, I was 18, and the
And
mom
she was a
still,
minor.
yeah, she was still under eight. She is still under 18. So that obviously she couldn't get custody. So I maintained custody since Naomi was born, but still being negligent to all my rights and everything would have meant, because I'm seeing child support to stand a third on the paperwork, and from the door I'm like, what the hell y'all coming to me for? I'm here, I'm dropping off, I got the clothes, I'm doing everything that I can do, that I'm supposed to do, that I was told to do, so
Right.
I don't see why this is happening. And then they like, no, we needed this to get the food stamps, and so we can get the insurance, and that's why we need
Yeah.
to file and all that. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. I'm like, as long as ain't nobody coming for my pockets, cause I'm here. So I don't want that should not be the case at all. And at that moment, at that point in time, me and her are technically still together, regardless of where we at. Romantically, we're still, officially still together. So I'm like, what
Hmm.
the hell is this? And but when that came, when that came on, out, like I said, I was still negligent to that, and eventually it went to what we was talking about, me, how I was looked at as the W. The problem was she didn't want her to come to my house. She couldn't stay with me. She couldn't be with me and my family, and for the first 6 months. And I'm like, all right, I guess, I'm breastfeeding, this and the third. So I'm like, all right, cool. Mind you, she only breastfed for a month. It was just an ongoing excuse that she kept saying, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna respect it for the first 6 months. I get it, cool. And
So
then
you were like visiting the baby at her house, like
yeah,
doing everything that they wanted you to do
that's the
to
only thing.
have that control,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that was the only thing. And in my eyes, I'm a very trusting person. I didn't see anything wrong with it. I'm just coming to take care of my daughter. I'm just going to see my
Because
child.
you was 18.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm
Not
just
to cut you off, just briefly, to be funny, like we just experienced this with our son. Like he had a baby at 18, the girl was younger, and the parents were just completely like trying to take over. So we had to like go to court to get his rights established, and that's a whole nother story. But just to let you know, we completely understand because he still seems to be in this
Space that you was when
right
you
in
was
this
18.
headspace where he feels he wants to do the right thing as a father, right? And you thinking that like I'm here, I want if my baby needs pampers, I want to go over there. If I need to drop this off and pick up, I want to do that. But not understanding that sometimes you got to take a step back to really see if it's going in a direction that's uncomfortable for you, her, and the baby, and not somebody else controlling the situation. And that this is like similar to what it's
yeah.
almost identical to what we just experienced. So I just want to share that with you, but you could continue. Not to, I'm sorry for cutting you off.
No, no, of course, I appreciate that because like like I seen baby mama drama and stuff like that, but I've always felt like it wasn't a lot of people I could talk to about this and really go to because
Mm.
it was bad because like my mom, she from the door, she didn't really take my side at all. She straight went on that side. Me and my mom, we were a unit growing up, but I me growing up now and seeing things, she kind of she put me in that state of more of a partner than her son. So
Mm,
we're
mm.
argued like to the point where I would have panic attacks and pass out. She called the police on me. I want him out of my house to stand in third, and it was bad. So my mom had her own outlook on me. So when this happened, she wasn't really happy about it. But she like, I'm gonna take on the grandchild, and she straight was like, I'm on her side. I want to see my grandbaby, so I'm gonna be on her side, the winning side.
And
And
that's totally the wrong thing to do.
yeah,
Quite
so
often we find people that in these situations, even your family, right? You're the one struggling to connect with your child, be there, be present, and it's chaos. And then you have a family member that's right there doing all the things that the other people want, only causing more of a bridge, only causing more of,
Yeah.
conflict. And we could only just understand what that was like for you, not having no support systems.
it got bad. Like my mom, I would tell her, I'm like, I ain't see my daughter in months. It's almost been a year. It's that and the third. She's like, oh, I just took them to jams to go, to skating for Naomi birthday. I'm like, what you mean? Like, she's like, yeah, I took her and her mom. I'm like, why you take her mom? I live right around the corner from jams. Why you take her mom? She like, well, I wasn't gonna skate around with her. I'm too old. I'm like what? Like
Yeah.
I
So they
see
they
my
they,
daughter
they
in months.
the other side, they do that, man, to make you look bad. Oh, the
Oh
family
yeah,
mess with me, but you see, he ain't doing what he's supposed to do.
Exactly. And the family is over here like, well, I miss the kid. I want to connect with the kid.
Yeah.
I want to see the kid thinking about themselves, not understanding that it's only causing more rift. And but if the father can't see him, nobody shouldn't get to see him, right? And
you
so you want to play a part and step in so the kids won't think bad about you. But it's before you comes the parent. And if it's not
Yeah.
right with the parent first, you need to take a step back and just stay out of it. And I think a lot of people don't really know how to do that. They just think that they're doing the right thing, and that's just not the right thing. And
I
so we
yeah.
definitely understand.
I asked for help. That was my problem. I asked for help. Cause when I once there was obviously like there's a lot of gap in between that, but there was so much problems in those times. Cause eventually I got with somebody who is now my partner now and who I've been with for the last 10 years, and she was the one that really opened my eyes to my rights because she was a child in that situation, but she was older as far as being between parents that split up. So she knew that you as a dad, you got your rights. You got custody. What you need to act. You need to go down there and file. And I'm like, go down where and file? What? What are you talking about?
How old was the baby when she was telling you to do this by this time? How long had it been?
One. She was only one.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
so
Not too not
she
too much time had
yeah,
passed by,
yeah,
so
not
that's
too much
good.
time passed, but it, family court in Philadelphia, which it's probably not everywhere, but family court in Philadelphia, bad. Like that thing.
Yeah, family court is tough.
So let me ask you this. So why do you think she was keeping the kid away?
Honestly, it was control. It was control. Like my partner definitely opened my eyes and to realize that she probably still maintained feelings. Where I thought we broke up with, I'm a very logical thinker, very straightforward. If I say something, you say something, I'm gonna take that for what it is. So when I was, when she was like, "Listen, I don't think we, doing well together. You want to break up?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course. Yeah, not of course, but yeah, I think that would be the right thing to do." And she's like, "All
Right.
right, cool, all right, cool." And we went our separate ways. No words, no bad, no arguing, no just clean cut, split up. And my wife, my partner, she like, you don't think she still have relations? I'm like, no, like she didn't bring it to my, she bring it to me. I'm thinking we good, but especially after everything that she was doing, she came to my house. She destroyed my car, my very first car that I got because I needed one because I had a daughter to take around and take to the doctor's appointments and do all that stuff. And even when I wasn't with her and I was still with my new partner that I should be, getting to know and this and the third, I'm doing things that honestly making her feel uncomfortable, not knowing what I'm doing to her at the beginning of our relationship and just souring it
Oh,
because
trust
I'm
me,
thinking
baby, we
I'll be a
know.
good father.
We know,
Like,
cause she your girl, and kudos to her. Like another, and I know this is an interview, so we're gonna move it along. But I
yeah,
just want to be clear because as a wife, right,
mm-hmm.
I came in on a situation with him that I had nothing to do with, and so you automatically become attacked. You can become targeted just because of who
For
you
no
fell
good
in love
reason.
with and who you choosing to do life with.
For
And
no good.
so people don't understand that. And her telling you to fight for your kid, it's nothing wrong in doing that. That just shows that she's a stand up woman and don't want to be in a situation where she's in a relationship with a father that can't be a father to his child, knowing that you're a good dude, or however she feel about you, right? And
Exactly.
so people want to look at us and the new person, they want to call us all these names and say that it's this type of scenario where we brainwash because you lying to us, but that's irrelevant. Anybody
Mhm.
that wants somebody to connect with their child, how could you have a problem with that?
And also to add to that, she never can get all of you because you got a big part of you that's missing. So and a woman can see that. So you walking around there empty, like they can see that. Like, oh, she want to make you happy, so she wants you
Mhm.
to be happy. So in order for that, she's gonna fight for what's gonna make you happy if she's a woman that's for you.
And she a part of your life, right?
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
before you continue, how soon after did you guys have your second child? Like how soon was it once all
Well,
this started?
me and my partner now we had him May 12th, 2021. So years later, like he's three.
Oh, okay, so they got a little gap in between,
Yeah,
so it
yeah.
wasn't like because I was trying to figure out because at first you said it was pretty much the mom and she was like pushing it right, and then all of a sudden it went haywire, like it got worse. Now that you have a woman in your life, it's getting worse and she's doing more things and being vindictive and just really showing the bitterness, and so that's why I was trying to figure out was your woman
What?
pregnant, like what
Yeah,
sparked
no.
that.
What happened? What happened was is I did exactly what I said I was going to do while we were still together, and she was. I think Naomi was just born her. She was probably still uh, in the womb. I told her I'm like we're gonna have to have that conversation when that partner comes up. Me and my partner was seeing each other, was getting close. I wanted her to I actually I asked her to do Naomi hair and they bonded. And I'm like, listen, all right, well, I'm gonna had to talk with her, let her know. I'm like, yo, I think I hit her up one day. I was coming home from at night school, and I was like, listen, I ain't holler at you, talk to you real quick. You know what I'm saying? And pulled up right because I drove past her house, pulled up real quick, and I'm just like, yeah, so. Seeing somebody you probably know, see it on my social media. We are taking it again serious. I want her to meet Naomi. If we're open for you to meet her. Y'all meeting so y'all can be on the same page. Everybody be respectful. This and that third. And she, it was so long ago. I can't really. I feel like she was like, yeah, because it was very cool. It's fine. That conversation was fine until I was like, but you now have to pick up more responsibility on your end. Where I take care of diapers for both of our house, I take care of milk for both of our house, I take care of everything for both of our houses. You need to take care of your house. And she was like, so you don't want to take care of your child no more? I'm like, bro, what? Like, I just saying, you buy diapers at your crib, I buy diapers at my crib. She's like, well, why can't we do 50-50? You do it for 6 months, I do it for 6 months. I'm like, because you take care of your house and not take care of my house. She spends more time at your house because you won't let me get her. So why am I gonna just keep paying it and dropping it off, coming to your house, coming to your house, throwing them on the porch? Because I got to the point where I'm just literally, I got my partner in the car. I'm like, hold on, run the right edge. I gotta drop these joints off, and I throw them out the window up the steps at the porch, and let it hit the door hard enough that they know, they got a a package and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it got to that point because it was like, yeah, man, and my partner was like, nah, you
Yeah,
can't
this
keep
ain't gonna
doing.
work. Like,
Yeah, man.
this
So
ain't
I,
gonna
I
work.
just try to have an adult conversation. I try to have a very mature conversation when honestly a lot of people in that age, even me still, even me, I wasn't didn't have that mental complexity to keep emotions away from that type of mindset, to keep emotions away from a serious conversation like that.
So
So
what made her destroy your car? Like what? Because I
that
know
day,
this had to be
that
around the
day,
same time frame.
that exact day,
Because
yeah,
you switched up.
yeah,
She believed.
she snapped, she started punching on me, and this and the third. She started throwing all my stuff out the car. I'm like, yo, chill, you throwing. She started crying, bawling. Her mom came outside, out the house, and she ran her mom. Mind you, she makeup, shit, all fucked up. So she like, oh, he hit me, mom. He hit me. So all her sisters come outside. Nothing but a house of females, no males. So the only male that was there, honestly, he was abandoned. He was kicked out on the streets. And funny enough, I'll run into him every now and then, and he'd be like, he say what's up to me. Like he kind of know the vibe over there and shit. So he, but a house full of females, her older sister, 9 months pregnant, jump on my car, banging on my window, all this. He blow
Oh
my
my
phone.
God.
I'm like,
Like,
why you hit my sister, you hit my sister. I'm like, I didn't put my hands on that woman, man. I'm like, she was crying. She was standing there. I told her what I told her. No, we just standing there. So they came to my house. I already figured that they probably was going to destroy my car, so I parked my car around the corner, actually, and I left it there. And they came to my house. They banging on my door, destroy my mom plants, and that's down the third. Talking about, yeah, tell your mom to come out. We gonna fuck her up. We gonna this, that,
oh
and the third.
wow.
So I
Yeah.
ain't gonna lie. I was a wild young boy in those times. I came to the door, I pulled the strap. I'm like, y'all got back that shit the fuck up. Get that shit the fuck up out of here. Y'all at my mom front door, disperse, please. And
Yeah.
nobody, they left, but guess they
So
found my
when
car.
did you see your daughter after that? When was the next time you saw her after that situation?
So it was a long time. I eventually we was doing so much research. My wife FBI with it. She was like, she posted a flyer of which school she go to and Kenny and daycare. I found out which school, so I went up there, showed them my papers. Cause mind you, I've always had rights to my daughter, and if you put me in front of a cop and her and me at this time with the papers, she's leaving with me because she's not on there. I share custody with the grandmother. The grandmother.
Uh,
Okay. So so
and she never went back to court.
No, it took her a while. It took her to like 2018 is when she was able to transfer. I was like maybe I want to say 8 minutes late, and they was like, yeah, no, you gotta file a reconsideration. Went to do that, and they was like, we don't see no reason. And I'm like, well, because there's a lot y'all not understanding. She don't want me to have my child. She don't have custody now, and she's keeping my child away from me. What do you think she's gonna do when she has custody? They wasn't trying to hear that. So, it just damn near. It went bad, and it's like I got like so much paper, a book bag full of paperwork that was proving so much stuff, and I'm gonna send y'all a video just to post to ask that question. What would you think? Because there's a video where I was talking about, and the cop is like, listen, this paperwork says you don't have custody. He has custody, and she like, I don't care. She's like, I don't want him to go with her. My mom don't want him to go with her. Like, and she's on that paper, and my mom said she don't want. Well, mom not here, ma'am. He has his rights, and they didn't, launch their shirt. She still
So
left the
after
mom.
after you missed that court appearance, or was late rather, and everything went left, you don't have nothing substantiated to date that gives you, your share of custody
No, even then, I still had custody. All it did was transfer her grandmother to the
to
mother.
her.
So I still maintain my primary
Oh, okay.
my
Okay.
custody
So
legally.
so is she still alienating you to this day?
Well, she can't now because it got so bad to the point where I had to get CPS involved, and now my daughter is in my care. She's going to trauma therapy. She has to go to school in my school district. She has to go to school with me, and it's so much stuff that if I would tell you why all this is happening, the jaw would drop to the ground. Mind you, my daughter.
Probably not.
It,
We've walked that
yeah,
walk as
yeah,
well.
really. But like, yeah, I'm gonna say my wife just reminded like her mom hasn't reached out to her since May of this year. Mind you, her birthday is in June. Her birthday is June 25th. Her mom didn't reach out since May of this year. She
So
and that
I just don't understand. She put you through all of this to then
abandoned her.
not do right by the baby.
Then
It
that's
makes no sense.
they did so much to her. It's so much because like from the times they spent, she took her on a run with the boyfriend she had. Now the boyfriend's coming in the picture. This and the third. Took on a run. My daughter would tell my wife like, yo, I was living in a hotel. I was hopping this hotel, this that hotel. They used to tell me to act, make it seem like I was crying, and so we can ask for a room to stay at this hotel, this and the third.
Oh
Mind
my
you,
God.
ever since I left my house, ever since my mom put me out when I was 20 years old, I made sure I had a two-bedroom home. Regardless of where I stayed at, my partner understood no matter what. I made sure I had a two-bedroom home that was always ready and made for her to come there. Even with me not seeing her. Bed, room, pink, everything closed, all that, waiting for her. Always. Which obviously is very sad to see when you can't get her. It hurts. It hurts,
Yeah.
at this point, they have a relationship. It hurts a lot. And
Yeah.
it was
So
like,
what was one of the toughest things like that you had to deal with far as not seeing when you was being alienated? Like what was one of the hardest things for you to?
that long gap from 2 years, and no, and it was a 2 year gap where I didn't see her, get to hear from her, none of that. I went to the police district religiously every birthday, every time my time showed that I was supposed to have her on these custody papers. I was just going and I was getting police report after police report after police report, just stockpiling a bunch of evidence. But it was a 2 year gap in 2019. And right then, I guess when the pandemic happened, but of course we're still going. It was just moving slow and
Well,
over FaceTime. I mean, yeah, over Zoom.
Zoom.
So
Yeah.
how did you deal with that?
Me and my partner, we we put our minds into a lot of things. So if it's health, if it's wealth, if it's traveling, trying to just go take a ride, we always try to fill our life up with a lot of things, and we always dig deep in the sun. Like I remember during the pandemic, in the beginning of it, I was one of those people that got into forex, but seeing how much money and the potential of it, and knowing that regardless of all the negative conversation around it, it actually have some real in it. And my wife was digging into her health and wellness and nutrition and CMOS, and regards to all the negative things around that, has some truth in it, and it changed our life a lot. Honestly, my wife, she struggles with PCOS. We was trying for a long time, for years, to have a child, and
See.
CMOS, we took it, taking it probably for a year, and she got pregnant within like that, and it was like it was mind blowing to us because we could never believe it because we always had miscarriages and those the other the other one I can't think of the word, but
Mhm.
basically miscarriages and the false positives and stuff like that, and
Mhm.
it just constant hurt. We went to a fertility clinic. We did everything we could, and then we got into CMOS, and boom, little Adriel was on the way, and he was a blessing. And around that time, I was getting them. Yeah, they are right here. This is Naomi. I think she was like 10, maybe, or 9 at this age, and
Okay.
and okay, yeah. This is Azio, and he was a couple. I want to say like one, and that's the purchase when we got them dedicated at our church because we're into the church. We believe in God, and we're not like super Christians, but we go to a
Yeah.
non-denominational church, and we try
Yeah.
to instill
So
that.
let me ask you a question. Now that you said you done went through this, you've been alienated. Your mom, nobody was on your side. You never had no help until you got your partner. Now that everything has transpired, how do they view it now?
Are you still a deadbeat?
No, because the things that happen. My partner, I definitely want to introduce my partner. This is
Hey,
Alyssa.
how you doing?
Hey,
Hey.
hey. So yeah, after all the things like you got like my daughter was given drugs. She was given alcohol.
Oh wow.
She was it was too many things that to the point where they couldn't they can't nobody can fight it. She literally like went during this time we went through so much stuff. I got a paper that I'm gonna share with you guys, and you could probably post it whatever and probably create a link that saved everything when it came to me going to meeting up at the police district. Had this form, the police signed it. If she showed up late, if she didn't show up at all, whatever, I left. I took that to court. They was like, oh snaps, yeah, we can't cover for you now. It's right here in black and white. Because at first I would tell them like, yeah, she not coming. They were like, whatever. I brought the black and white. They was like, oh yeah, nah. If you don't bring her again, you're going to jail. She did it. She went to jail. They gave her a supervised visitation. Supervised visitation was with my mother. She attacked my mother and had her boyfriend run in my house on Easter Sunday. We coming from church and all that, going to go back to drop my daughter off so they can have their supervised visitation. She ran in there with her boyfriend, calling him, kicking the door in, knocking my stepfather to the side. Mind you, he's an older man, and my mom, she's also
Man,
older. She started trying to roughhouse my mom. My daughter,
what?
screaming, crying, ran in the back. This was what a year. This like 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
This 2022.
2022.
My son
Yeah,
was born.
yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
It was like this,
Wow.
it was, and at the
And
yeah, by that point,
Naomi told them that she didn't want to go.
yeah,
They couldn't believe it.
yeah.
It upset them a lot. And they started to take it out on Naomi, unfortunately.
Wow. Because, the thing about, like we always say, right? Going through parental alienation, and as a parent that's targeted, that's one thing. But an alienated child, they don't stay a child forever. They grow up, they pay attention, they start seeing the signs and seeing how this parent is. And when they start being vocal and start expressing
Yes.
themselves, then they become targeted as well. And so
Ooh,
people don't even understand the children, they come with a lot of trauma. Like you have to rebuild them back up after being alienated, and the manipulation and the psychological damage that's there.
Yes.
People really don't believe that this stuff exists. And so I'm just happy that you guys are confirming it, because we went through something like that as well. And it's like, this is a lifelong battle. It doesn't end. Even when you have custody, if
mm-hmm.
a child has been through that, you have to do the work every day to keep putting
Yeah.
back good thoughts and feelings and rebuilding them and giving them their confidence back, because after going through that, it's so traumatic. So
Yeah.
kudos to y'all. Like, it's so amazing when we see parents that have stuck through the fight and have their kids, and this is like what we go through as well on a day-to-day basis, just trying to encourage them and try to let them know, hey, somebody loves you, and they still that void is still there.
Yeah.
Like me as a stepmom, you as a stepmom, that's still their mom. And so they have trauma bonds. They start to feel, worthless because why, why me? And we speak to even alienated children turn out adults that say they have so many problems in their adulthood where they can't even connect with partners. They feel, slighted on every end of the spectrum. Like, and so you guys are just the real raw, uncut truth and proof that we speak every day when people just don't understand. They don't know the struggles that we have. They say it's made up. It's something that doesn't really exist. People, a lot of people do hide behind it, but when you hear that story, we can point it out a mile away. We know when it's real because we've been through the same thing. And my heart just goes out to y'all because
It's a struggle.
it's a struggle even for
I
us.
So let me ask you this: what are some of the things y'all are doing to help with your daughter mental health?
So let me say one thing that stood out to me was, like you said, it's the rebuilding of Naomi's confidence of her voice. And when my stepdaughter, my bonus baby is what I call her,
Yes.
here, I made it my goal for her to find her voice. And so when I got her into therapy, it was from her annual physical doctor's appointment. I told them she was going through bullying from her transition from homeschooling because her mom was isolating her and taking her out of the school system, any system,
Yeah.
put her into homeschooling. And we did that. We finished out that year strong. And then we put her in brick and mortar school. When we put her in brick and mortar school, she had a very hard transition. And so when I took her to her annual appointment, they were like, yeah, she needs therapy. We got her therapy. And that's where I was like, she needs to find her voice, because there were so many things that you say that it's true. It's like they break them down and they don't realize that they feel unworthy still to this day. And she's angry. She's only 11. And I'm watching her go from innocent and happy to upset, angry, very irrational. And yes, hormones are there, but
Yes.
there is feelings behind this, and rightful
Yes.
feelings and shared feelings that we can all agree this is
Yep.
upsetting. This should not happen. And this is unfair, but there's nothing we
Yeah.
can do, you
And
know?
we still have to put on this poker face and still, like, even though we know that this person is like EVIL, right? We can't badmouth them. We can't, because it's still their other parent. You
Heck,
can't even
oh, yes.
talk from the grown up part of things. And people don't understand that. This is why we take it so serious, y'all, because to have to swallow that and hearing your story so far, and I know it's so much more to tell, that people say that they think that it's okay to do to respond and react, but not when you raising a kid. It's they're the person that's the priority. It's not really about us. We could probably take it all, beat up, whatever, however it comes. But when you look in that child's face and you see that hurt and that pain, and you know it's really nothing you can really do about it. It's not a quick fix. It's not overnight. It's gonna take work. It takes some real strong parents and some real settled people to know how to handle that and to not lose it. Like, to really not, go off the
Yeah.
handle and do some things. Like, this is our
Yeah.
children. And people want to say, oh, well, you guys are so aggressive and you so this, because this is our kids we talking about. It's nothing pretty about this.
Come
This
on
is
now.
very nasty, very ugly.
Yeah, this the kid. Like this
I
the
was
kids. Like if it's anything,
okay.
we gonna trip on our about our kids and about our moms and about our grandmoms. Come on now, anybody know
And
that?
it takes a
Yeah,
village. It
Uh,
takes a
Yeah.
I started with my stepdaughter because he didn't know how to do hair, and she was almost 2 years old. And he was like, "Can you help me?" And I'm like, "I don't really know how to do hair, but I'll try."
I'll try,
We grew
right.
a bond. Me and him already had a bond. Me and Naomi grew a bond, and it's just it takes a village. And she, doesn't want to understand that. And but you said, what do we do to help her mental right now? And I wanted to go back to that. We are definitely trying trauma therapy, like you heard, but now we're also trying to get her stimulated and get her back to being a child, because when you go through alienation and these things, you lose
the
that
innocence.
spark.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
Yep.
it makes her very sad. Some days she is just not there. She is
yeah,
just
yeah.
sad.
Uh-huh.
And you got to, find the things that she likes. You got to find the things that bring her back, which sometimes is family time, sometimes it's alone time, sometimes it's dancing. Grandma says acting, because Naomi does love to imagine things. You got to think about it. You're in a role you never thought you'd be in, where your mom.
Yeah, it's new for everybody.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
It's new
Yeah.
for everybody.
My daughter, she lived in hotels for those 2 years I didn't see her, and the stories that she tell about those hotels, I can only imagine being at her age. I believe she was like yeah, like 6 to 7 maybe. Her imagination had to be going. She would tell me how they would lock her. Not lock her out, but she would basically be locked out because they would go drive to Philly and leave her in South Jersey, and at the hotel, and she with the housekeeping, the housekeeper gotta leave, and so now she just running around the hotel trying, knocking on people's doors, strangers' doors. That's the stuff that she would tell me. It was just so scary to hear, but
Yeah.
grateful to see, being able to see her to tell me this stuff. But it's just like, dang, you experienced that. To say that she witnessed her parent, her mom and the boyfriend, having sex,
Domestic
yeah,
violence.
Oh
Oh
man.
man, bro.
violent,
Well,
you
And
know,
I'm getting triggered. I'm getting
what
triggered
I say is
right.
that as a
because we've been there.
we
And we
become,
Yeah.
got a we got a 10-year-old, and
Oh,
it's like you telling us our life.
yeah,
It's like we
I was
are
just saying, as a
reliving this with
step-parent,
you.
I'm sure we become confidants. For my stepdaughter as a young girl, and me being her stepmother, I was her confidant. She comes to me about so much, and it's so heavy, but
Yeah.
also feel like, I'm so grateful to be given that role and
That assignment.
to be
Yeah.
given trust. But
mm,
in the same token, the stuff that she tells me is heartbreaking. And in reality, I just became a mom, I guess, 3 years ago. But for real, I feel like I was kind of a teen mom. And all I can say is it really, really takes a village. And all of this is to say that push it to the side, because these kids are important.
mm,
Everything
Yes.
else is irrelevant.
mm.
Yes. That is so true. That is so true.
Oh hell yeah! Because like I've always would say I tried so many routes, but one thing I can tell you for sure, I always tried to maintain, be respectful. Now there's times where I've went off the rails, but when it was deliberately like you're just being wrong right now by saying no to me about my daughter. But other than that, I always try to maintain respect. Be like, yo, if you want to go to college, you want to do something, just give her here, like, rock out. She don't need to be at every Joe Blow Schmo house.
Okay?
They rather destroy them before they give them to you.
Because they know it's still gonna hurt you.
It's yeah, it's
It's
all
it's
about
all about
control.
hurting you.
Yeah.
Yeah, even the conversations on the phone when I had to do schedule phone calls, because when she finally lost her primary custody after, like, just not going off of that black and white, they was like, all right, supervised visitation, and get the call or FaceTime once a day. The phone calls got so toxic. I'm
Oh
like,
my
Oh
God.
man,
like
tell me about it.
I'm like,
Again,
yeah.
step parent is like, mom, you're not gonna believe this, that, and you want to give her the benefit of the doubt, because as a mother, it's like, all right, well, this and that,
Let
and
me
I'm
ask you this: Did
trying.
she ask? Did she ask your daughter was she safe?
Oh, she told her daughter to run away.
Yeah,
Oh
she
my
didn't really
God.
get to a point of,
Like,
are you safe? Because I think she always knew that Naomi was safe.
oh
One thing
yeah,
she told me when I was young, maybe 20 years old, is that you may be a better parent than us, or but I don't care. It was just, she always kind of knew that she put Naomi on a back burner. And I listened to you guys interview, and what I truly think it is that she has feelings that are unresolved, and it goes
Absolutely.
beyond Eugene. We all have unresolved things that we need to heal, whether that's
Yeah.
father, auntie, whatever drama, but then you put
Right.
other relationships. And this has been brought on to that. She was somebody who was adopted. Her sisters were adopted. Love was taught differently. Her biological family came along when she was pregnant with Naomi, and she didn't know how to take that love. And I think she still is teaching Naomi, like, not how to take love, because she still doesn't know how to take it. Me as a woman, I have tried in so many various forms to show love when I know this is a very awkward position to be in, but
yeah.
I'm not a confrontational person. I'm not a harsh person. And I grew a genuine love for not only this man, but his daughter. You are a daughter. Um,
Yeah.
and I came as respectfully as I could, but it doesn't
I
always.
did too, and I am confrontational, and I can be harsh, and I will take it there. And I sat with this
Right.
woman when I was pregnant, honey, with our kid, just to do it for the children. I mean, I did everything I could possibly think would make this be smooth. When I came in the picture, they were done. It wasn't no cheating, it wasn't no scandal. Like, y'all are done. So why are we here? Like, why would you want to see your kids suffer? When this has been a father, he been active. You know what type of man he is. You know these kids gonna be taken care of. Like, why would you strip them from that just because of your own selfish reasons?
And they
Why?
haven't answered. They
And
never.
then crash out. Like, you think you have met the worst level until it gets to the next level. And you like, you
Yo,
still go. It hasn't
listen,
stopped.
listen. I literally lost a job and lost a job opportunity recently because she went to the Philadelphia CSV unit
Oh,
and
wow.
told them that during our relationship for 6 years, not the 3 years, but for 6 years, that I raped her and sexually harassed her during our relationship. So I got a call from
They weren't
CSV.
together 6 years.
Yeah,
I was in the
yeah,
picture by then. They knew
yeah.
they were together for what, 3, 4
Yeah,
years.
3 years. And I was like, I got hit with they called me, and at first I got in the mail and I was like, yeah, you're under investigation. I'm like, what the CSVU? Like dun dun dun, like Law and
But
Order, like
Oh
hold
my
up,
God.
this is
wait.
Not
after
the false
this
reports. Not the
a
false
month
reports.
after we got a PFA because she came up to our daughter's school with her sister, who then pulled up her shirt and showed her breasts to my 2-year-old son at the time and me in the car
On school
and
grounds.
in front of a school. Yes, in front of a
Oh
elementary
yeah, she
school.
crashing
So
out for
so
real.
can we all agree that this thing, like you guys have experienced, we experienced, like it's really like a mental illness. Like
It
it's
is.
no way these people could not know each other and be doing the exact same
Same thing.
things.
Yes.
It's clearly something wrong.
It is,
Yeah.
and the fact that even judges ask it now. So many judges I've heard and seen just like, is there something wrong with her? And
Yeah.
we don't
Yeah,
know. You
and that'd be
know,
the
We don't
crazy part.
know.
The
there.
judge will ask me like, "Yo, do you know if she's on any drugs or any medication? Is there anything why she could be acting like this?" And I'll be like, "No, as far as I know, this is that. No, I'm sorry, Your Honor, I don't." And they'd be like, "All right, well, let the kid go back with her." Like, what the y'all? You witnessed the craziness that I just witnessed, and you still gonna give her back to her? Like,
It's
And the
hard.
thing about it is,
What it takes.
what these women don't really understand is, if you have a father that's like you and like me, that's gonna constantly fight for their kids and not gonna give up. You not gonna, unless you beat your kid or something like that.
mhm,
He's not gonna lose custody, and it's gonna end up her losing it, like
exactly.
what happened in my situation, and like what's happening in yours. Like, if you have a, that's why I tell fathers, if y'all listening right now, man, y'all gotta stay consistent and y'all gotta continue to fight, man. You
It took
can't
me
give
years.
up.
It took
And
me
it's
years.
a battle. Like a lot of, I think a lot of the problem is with men, they think that family court is like a quick fix. You can go and then you get your kid.
No
And
court,
I
no
think
court.
that's where they mess up at mentally.
And not being educated, not knowing anything about court, not having the
Listen,
courage, not
Nobody.
having the knowledge, not knowing, just thinking if I just do what she say, I'm good. If I just do this one more time, we cool. It's cool. No, you cannot. You cannot compromise with crazy.
And,
You cannot.
and let me
Yeah.
give the women in our lives they flowers, because without them, like we'll be still in this la la land. Because they understand how women move, they understand their emotions, and once they start explaining these things, that open our eyes up to a lot, and that's when the drama really started. This is why
Mhm.
they start getting the attacks, because
Can't,
they know
can't
where it's coming
manipulate
from.
no more. They can't manipulate and do them little stuff.
Exactly.
Exactly.
You know, man, we going to work and provide and just kind of keep it pushing. All that extra stuff ain't really here for you know.
Exactly.
Here,
Fortunately,
I'm
yeah.
not stopping by and doing nothing. You want some Pampers here? Take them. Go ahead. I'm rocking out. Go do
You
my
want this amount here. Okay.
Yeah,
What's the
yeah.
but
problem?
that
But
I
you cannot,
from his
yeah,
money.
that works. That worked for a single man. But once
Yeah,
you get
yeah,
somebody in your life, that's where the problem come in at. And this is why I be telling man, don't do that off the back because you eventually you're gonna get somebody and then what?
And then you
exactly.
know what's funny? They say us, like you and I, we're pick me's and we're new supply and we're brainwashed and all these things. And it's like, where you who narrative is that? Because if you know me, you know better not even to say no shit like that out your mouth because what are you talking about? Like
Yeah,
you would have to know the story and from the beginning to the end to know how we got here. But we should be the ones that people should be acknowledging because I know the narratives about stepmothers. Yes, all stepmothers are not good, right? Some are evil and vindictive and got their own, motives.
It was
But
Disney.
that's not
Disney
this
fault.
story. You can't attach that to us. And
not
so you cannot make it seem like we need to stay in our place because we are in our place and we taking care of these kids. And if I'm helping raise this child, you're not going to tell me anything.
I had a court clerk himself tell me, "Excuse me, ma'am, why are you speaking?" And I said, "Well," and he said, "Well, because she's my woman and she's her
No,
mother,
I was. You
stepmother."
know what I said? I said I'm like, cause she my power of attorney. What you want?
Well,
What's up?
because he said, "Well, can you
What's
not
up?
speak for
I'm like, I'm
yourself?"
like, I'm
And
like,
he
no, I
said, "No,
can't.
I
No, I can't.
can't
She my power of
because
attorney.
Right.
he
What's going
will
on?
Like you
not
don't dismiss us.
Yeah.
speak." I
So
told
let me ask you one thing before we get up out of here. Do you think it's anything you can work on or do better in this situation? Either one of y'all?
For on my part, I could probably take in. I could probably definitely maybe take in the fact of more be more conscious of other people's emotions or maybe other party emotion. But like that's the thing. We got so far. Things happen. Too much things happen. Like the stuff that's happened to my daughter. It's like it's almost like I can't understand it. Like I can't. It's got so bad. There's so like I said, we could talk for days, hours. Oh my goodness, the stuff that
We
happened.
may need a part two.
Like the stuff that happened
Cause,
to my daughter
cause not
is
even just the story part of it all, but we also just want to be able to educate
yeah.
people, right? And
I,
having another couple
uh
that's going through the same things. I know that it's plenty more couples out here just like
yeah,
us. And
yeah.
so to hear us do this dialogue and to go back and forth and they can relate, I know that we could really, really hit home with some people on just, tips about how to
Yeah,
try to
I
work
can,
through this with these
I could,
kids. And so we
yeah,
definitely gonna have to do this again with y'all. Thank you so much for your
of course,
transparency. I
yeah.
mean, it's just
Yeah.
it even like is lifting a little bit more weight off my shoulders just today, just because we've never heard it from another couple like exactly like what we've been through. It's always usually a single father or a dad, but to know that this how I know we doing God's work and I'm on
Mm.
assignment. But thank y'all. I'm not gonna hold y'all too much longer.
thank you for
Of course,
having
man.
us. We
Yeah,
believe
Thank
in
you
God.
so much. And
yeah,
yeah, we gotta do it again. So
of
y'all
course,
stay
definitely.
tuned for part two because it don't end
Yeah,
right here.
And
yeah,
I'm
definitely.
I'm gonna leave a message for y'all, man. Just keep showing the your daughter love, man.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
Always.
That's
yeah.
what
And
I
that's all these kids be wanting and needing is
It's
love.
love and attention. That's all they.
Yep.
And don't kick yourself in the ass too much, man. As a father, we tend to do that, and you gotta know when. I'm just gonna say that because I didn't heard of some situations where sometimes it don't be a good outcome. It just be what it is for the rest of your life. So you gotta just know that you gotta do your job until they're adults, and then you go from there.
Can I
So
that real quick before I step out? This is the last thing, just to let this, because that's fact. Because I'm gonna tell you like this. Like I told you early, my father, he wasn't really around because I went through the situation. Me and my father had spent the last two Father's Days together. I've been getting to know my other side of my family, my brothers, my twin sisters, and all that. And I ain't know them all my life. It took me until I was
all your
20.
siblings. You
Uh,
have 12
I got so
siblings
many siblings on my dad's
in
Wow.
side.
Jamaica
man,
Yeah,
that's
Wow.
amazing.
other
and it's because
places.
I was able to open my eyes and really see. Like, probably my mom was probably on some bull crap.
Exactly. Right,
Yo,
like I'm an alienated child too. Like
yeah, so I
You
had
know
to.
this live, right? You know your mama can hear that, right? All right.
At home. Sorry, Mom Dukes. I mean, hey, this type of stuff bring out the raw and
Man,
uncut.
we trying to break
No,
generational
We
curses.
just trying to build, build and love and connect and reconnect every kid with their parents, and that's
Like,
what the purpose of this is.
yeah.
That's it.
Oh yeah, we appreciate y'all,
No, of
man.
course. Same here, man.
And
Same here.
be feel free
All
to
love.
reach out at any time.
we can to another
Can you
step.
give your Instagram or something?
Yeah.
If you
I'm at no more underscore wishes. My name Eugene, Genie. I was tired of giving people wishes, granting gifts and all that. So, no more underscore wishes.
And I'm Elisa MC. So that's just ALEESAAMMC.
Thank you. And for the record, anybody watching this, since y'all want to come for us, think you coming for us. You can't come for us.
No.
But since you want to know who's the deadbeat, he's not a deadbeat. He's not. It's not him.
Let them
Okay,
know.
that's how I feel about it, and we're gonna end it like that.
and kudos
And
to him, man,
And
for keep
thank you,
fighting and getting
thank you,
custody
bonus
of his
mama.
daughter.
I,
You amazing. Y'all
Well,
amazing.
both of them.
Yes.
thank you.
All right, y'all have a good night, man.
Yeah, enjoy
Peace.
yourself.
All
Good
right,
night.
all right, man. That's a wrap, man. We're gonna end this live tonight, man. But stay tuned, man. Make sure y'all like, follow, subscribe, do it all, man. On all platforms. We on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. But man, just stay tuned, man. We got a lot going on, man. So we finna get out of here. All right, good night.